Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Scott and I'm sharing with you a tutorial on how to create citations using Scribble. So I'm going to start at the library homepage, dgnlibrary.org, and if you don't have this already bookmarked, I think this is a great time to do that. I'm going to hover over the tab that says Citations and then select Scribble Research Organizer. And remember, this takes you to where the librarians have all kinds of resources for you, step-by-step instructions, how-to sheets, and different guides. And I'm actually going to follow the steps that we have in the middle of the page where it says directions for citing your sources using Scribble. So following along with those steps, I'm going to start by opening up the citation format guide for MLA style. I have a similar guide if your teacher is requiring you to use APA style. What makes this guide so valuable is that it tells you exactly what a citation should look like. So your goal is to open up the citation that Scribble has extracted from your source and then determine whether or not it is correctly formatted. Back into my LibGuide, next resource I want would be the database source example, as well as the website source example. And these tell you exactly where to find the elements of a citation in case you have to verify what's been filled in by Scribble, or you need to add information on your own. It tells you exactly what that is and where to find it. Now I will go into my Scribble library, and I can see my 4 sources of information. I have a web page, I have a YouTube video, and I have a database article. I will start with the database article. I'm going to click on the title to bring me into that source, and it loads the toolbar. On the right side, you'll see the sidebars, and the third from the bottom, that's the one that tells you what the citation looks like. The citation shows up in the dark gray. So take a look at that citation, and now take a look at the format. And I would use the first one, an article from a database. And as you look at that, you can see that something is not quite right. What Scribble has done is it's added the editor where the author should be. But this article does not have an author. It just names the editor. And Scribble has incorrectly grabbed that information. So that would be a case where we need to remove that information. I'm going to scroll down here within the sidebar and notice wherever there's pink, that's where Scribble is asking you if you need to add that information. Because our information is from online sources, we really don't need to have chapter numbers or page ranges. The rest of the information can stay, but we do need to take out that editor's name. The editor can be found under More Fields. So continue scrolling, and there's the name for the editor. We're going to remove him by clicking on that red X. That takes that name off of the citation, and you can see now up in the dark gray box, that citation looks much better. Let's take a look at that again. And now take a look at the citation format guide. And you can see the similarities. The title is in quotation marks. The name of the source, the original source, is in italics, and the name of the database, and you've got a date and a URL. And all those things are on our citation. So now we can close out of that article. Going back into my Scribble library, I'm now looking at the citation for the website. I will again click on that title to load the toolbar within that source. And I'm going to open up the sidebar. It seems to be that quite a lot of information is missing from this citation. Let's take a look at the format guide. And that's on page 2 of the format guide. There's the form for a website. So take a look at the example. A title in quotation marks, the website is in italics, there's a publisher, a year, and a URL, and of course our access date. but much of that is missing from this citation. So we need to look down below, and again, in pink, whatever's highlighted in pink, that's Scribble asking you, does this need to be added? And if you're not sure where to look for that on the page, this is where that labeled source example guide comes in handy. As I look at this, it tells me I need a website title, and I follow that arrow up to the top left corner. Publishers will be at the bottom of the page, as will the access date, unless it's listed underneath the article name itself, and so on. So you can use this to verify where to look for that information. All right, let's go look for that information now. So we do need a title of the website, and the title of the website, if I look up to the top left of the screen, it's called eHistory. So I'm going to type in eHistory. And I am going to capitalize history. The article title, if you can see what Scribble has done here, it's put this line in here. And whenever you see a line like that, that's a clue that something is wrong. And you can see that the title of this article is The Story of the Atomic Bomb. And they have much more listed here. In fact, they named the title of the webpage in with the title of the article. Because what Scribble does is it reads that code for the web page, and it just picked up more information than it needed. So I'm backspacing to get rid of eHistory and that line. And now you can see up at the top, now the title is correct. But we're still missing a publisher. And this up here at the top, this is a clue to me, The Ohio State University. It's from the Department of History. They've created a website called eHistory, and it comes from The Ohio State University. So I'm going to look at the bottom just to make sure. And it does say The Ohio State University, Department of History. So because the university is over the Department of History, we'll actually put them in as the publisher. And then we want to look for a year. I don't see a year listed here. Most often you'll see it listed next to a copyright C. This is their bibliography. This is not the date for the web page. That's the date of the sources they used. So unless there's a date here, and it doesn't look like there is one, we'll leave that blank. Now take a look up here again at what the citation looks like, and let's compare it. And that looks much better. We're much more similar to the type of citation format that we need. We've got the title of the article, the website, the publisher, date of publication, and so on. Our citation for a website is now correct, and we can close that article. The last citation we'll create will be for a YouTube video. Instead of taking me to the video along with the toolbar, a bookmark simply takes you to the video or to the website. So we need to go at this from a different angle. I'm going to click on the Edit Details for this source. I'm not clicking on the title. This time we'll click on Edit Details for this source. And that brings up the basic details where you would have renamed the title. I'm going to click on the tab that says Citation. And you can see that Scribble doesn't have a whole lot of information here. And in fact, it's not properly formatted. The title is not in quotation marks, and it's in italics. And that's because we haven't filled in a name of the website yet. So we need to get some of this information. So you will open up in another tab the website or the YouTube video so that you can get this information, similar to the way you would approach a website. And in fact, Scribble calls it a web page, and that's fine because we're going to use our format guide to make sure that the citation looks correct. So for the name of the website, and I'm basing this on the citation format guide, for a video clip, we need the name of the site, and this is YouTube. So we'll type in YouTube. And you can see now it's been added at the top and it's in italics. The title of the web page is now, or the video is now in quotation marks, just like it should be. But we're still missing some information. we need to have uploaded by and the contributor. So who uploaded this video? And you can find that very easily under the YouTube video. NBC News uploaded this video. I'm going to add that in here, and I'll add it as the publisher. And now it's been added up here, but notice it doesn't say uploaded by, and a proper MLA citation format requires that. I can easily add that right before NBC News. And now it's been added to my citation. On the guide, it says I need a date of publication, if it exists. Let's look to see if there's a date of publication. And there is. It's January 10th, 2018. So I'm typing that in. And now you can see that it is now up in the citation. And if I compare this to my citation format guide, it's exactly and correctly cited. And now I can close that, and my citations are correctly done. Now that you have your citations done, you may want to add them to your bibliography in Scribble. To do that, click on the Bibliography tab, then click the plus sign to add it into the bibliography space. You'll see that they're all properly formatted and alphabetized. Couldn't be easier. The next tutorial will take you through how to add those citations into your document or your slides presentation. Thanks for watching, and happy researching.